All right, all right. Welcome to another episode of Roaring Lions. Tonight, we're going to talk to King Ollin. This is going to be another great interview. If you are growing dreadlocks, male or female, follow me at Pharaoh Said That on Instagram. If you want me to interview you, I'll be more than happy to interview you. All you got to do is let me know. DM me. Also, there's plenty of links in the description to reach me. So you can always email me at the emails in the description. And we'll make sure we'll get you going, get an interview from you. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope y'all doing well. Positive energy all the time. Good to see you. The beautiful, gorgeous Latanya is here, who also was on an episode of Roaring Lions. Her interview was very enlightening. Very nice interview. And so tonight we got King Ollin in here. And he's going to talk to us. It's very good to see you, Arnell. Always good to see you all. Positive energy all the time. It's Tuesday night. Good to see you, Maxwell. Glad you're here for another episode of Roaring Lions. So, without any further ado, we are going to interview Brother Ollin. King Ollin is the name. So, get you something to drink, relax, and we'll be right forward with King Ollin. Well, if it isn't King Ollin, what's going on, Brother Ollin?
What's good, man? How you doing?
Man, it's a pleasure. I'm glad to have you over here, good brother.
Yeah.
So you were telling me you've been watching me a long time, huh?
Yeah, I've been watching you since 2016.
Oh,
2016.
wow. Okay, now when I ask
Yeah.
you these questions, don't try to answer in a way where I agree with. I want to get you
Oh,
I want
okay,
to
I
get your
got you.
real answer, okay? I don't hold nothing against you when I do these interviews.
Okay.
So it's a pleasure, brother. I'm glad to have you over here. I'm interviewing
It's
my
my pleasure as
subscribers.
well.
Yeah, I'm interviewing my subscribers and my followers along with other people, celebrities, and everybody all put together, right?
Right,
No big eyes, little U's. So,
right.
Ollin, where were you born, brother?
I'm from Lumberton, North Carolina. It's south of, it's a rural area. Nobody really too much knows where it is, but it's south of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And when you did a video like maybe a week ago where you was talking about the top black businesses in America, and you named Fayetteville as one of. I live south of Fayetteville, maybe 40 miles.
Ah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
And where were you raised at?
I was raised in Lumberton, born and raised in Lumberton,
Okay.
North Carolina.
Okay, nice. What was life like there, growing up there,
Life it was pretty much very country, a very like kind of like a southern country boy, you
Mhm.
know, it going to church, going to school, going to church, had to, I was raised by my grandparents,
Okay.
so it was very much like that type of lifestyle, which is I just turned 29 in July.
Ah,
So a lot of people around my age group in my area, they was raised by their grandparents.
right.
And a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of people are raised by their grandparents. It was very, but life for people here is very laid back, very simple. This is a retirement town. It's not really too much going on. It's just well, it as far as crime and stuff, it's gotten a little out of hand a little
Mm.
bit, but um outside of that, it's just real normal living life. You wake up, go to the grocery store,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
regular stuff.
So you still live there now?
Yes. I live
Okay.
in no, I'm in Whiteville, North Carolina now. It's about 20 minutes away, but I'm still pretty much
Right.
relatively in the same area.
Okay, got you. Now,
Yeah.
why were so many people in your age category raised by their grandparents? What was the reason for that?
I think I can speak for myself. My mom was working two jobs. She was a CNA, and she worked at the hospital, and she worked at a nursing home.
Hmm.
So like she was never really, you know,
Right, right.
she just I stayed with my grandparents, and it's not like I couldn't have lived with her, but it was just easier on her because she
Mhm.
was Fairmont it's another town called Fairmont. This is about 10-15 minutes of the road. And she was working her two jobs, and me and my brother would go and live with her on the weekends. But
Right,
then during the week we stayed at my grandma's house,
right,
and
right. So
and
grandma was the babysitter.
pretty much, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's a
Hmm.
good thing, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Even in
I
my
learned a lot
day,
of things from grandma.
yeah,
Yeah,
back in my day, granny was always around. So Granny always was willing to help her daughter with the children.
yeah,
So, it was a positive thing. That's a good life. It
right.
wasn't like there was no problem. You could see your mother when she was off work. It wasn't
Hmm.
like she abandoned you or nothing. She was at work trying to get money.
Right.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Mama
Yep.
was a hustler. She was working.
Yeah, she was getting that money. Yeah. Well, she did a good job. You seem to be a fine
Yeah.
young man. So you were born what? What year is that?
93, 1993.
Okay, so 93, you're in high school in like 2000 and something.
Yeah,
Uh,
2000. When I entered high school, it was 2008, I think.
okay.
2007, 2000, the 0708 school year, I think.
Okay, so what were your favorite recording artists at that time when you was coming up?
Missy Elliott
Yeah.
definitely like Missy Elliott's my favorite female. Busta Rhymes is my favorite male
Okay.
rap artist, and Missy was my favorite female, like because just the creative visuals and stuff. And
Right.
Timberland, I was into, but back then, not only was I into the artists, I was into like who was producing them. Timberland is the reason that I started, making beats and
Okay.
stuff, which we haven't got to yet. But
Got you.
Timberland is my favorite producer.
Okay.
Um, Also Dilla, which that was later. Like I found out about Dilla like maybe 2010ish. So
Okay.
who else? My favorite artists. Um in general, it was like Brandy. Beyonce. I like a lot of
Right.
female
So
artists.
basically, you're
Yeah.
a musician, I can tell. So you
Yeah.
like the music. You were more into the producers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child. I
Right.
was super into Dark Child. Um, who else? Teddy Riley,
Right.
um, Quincy Jones, people like that. Like I was aware of these people because I was as a kid, my aunt, she bought a lot of music. So
Right.
I would just, she would have cassette tapes and stuff, and I would just read the liner notes and stuff.
Ah,
And then I would, I'll be like, who is Quincy Jones? Who is Teddy Riley? Who is Babyface?
right.
People like that. And then
Right.
that's how I got into like, oh, these is the people who's behind the records.
Right. So who's your
So
favorite producers today?
today I would say 40 with Drake.
Hmm.
I think 40 is dope. I
Hmm.
think Metro Boomin is dope. And uh God, what's the other one? Murder on the beat. Who is that? Where he was like murder on the
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
was
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, like I like him too.
Right.
He's definitely dope. He's definitely dope.
So you're a musician, am I correct?
Yes.
What instruments do you play?
When I was in middle school, I played trumpet and baritone.
I was a trumpet player, and
Oh, for real? I
yeah, I
didn't
was
know
a
that.
trumpet
I
player.
did
I
not know
played
that.
trumpet in middle school, and I played trumpet in high school, and I played trumpet in college. I
Uh-huh.
went to Vandercook College of Music. Trumpet was my major.
Okay, that's what's up.
Then I
I did,
switched,
I was in a concert band.
and then I switched to bass.
Okay.
Uh,
I didn't get into bass till later. Later.
okay, I seen you playing. Yeah,
I'm a beginner bass player.
you're good. You're good.
Thank
So,
you.
um, what are you doing with your music? Are you producing for any artists, or it's just a
Well,
hobby? Or
it's a hobby for right now because I did produce for an artist. His name is Joe Work. He's in Atlanta. This was back when I was in high school, and I produced 2 tracks for him. He put it out on his album, but I wasn't really. I was just trying to get out there. I wasn't trying to get no money or nothing like that. But it's 2 tracks on his album, and but later, like I produced a whole bunch of tracks, but something happened with my laptop. It's a funny story, but I was basically drunk and I was showing somebody a beat, and the laptop was sitting on top of the amp, and the vibration it made the computer fall off, and then it damaged the hard drive. So I had lost all those beats. So I was
okay,
like, dang, you know. And then I started, and I kind of got depressed a little bit, and then I started back kind of picking up on producing and making beats and stuff.
you got depressed because
So
you lost those beats, huh?
yeah, that it was a mixture of other stuff that was going on in my life at the time too.
Right,
But
right.
that kind of was like that took the cake for me.
Okay, now,
It was
brother,
just
listen. Okay, you always got to have 2 or 3 of these. Okay.
the hard drives. Yep.
Yes, you always
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
have 2 or 3. You got to have 2 or 3 of them, and back up to back up and back up to back up.
Hmm.
Because I lost a hard drive with some music in it, and it's painful.
Yeah. That
They
that
do. I
you
think they do have a machine out now that I think you can plug to that old computer if you got it, and it will get that out of there.
Okay. Well, the person that was repairing it, she still got the computer, so I can probably,
You can get that
if you can
stuff
get
out
with
of there.
me on that machine that can repair that, I can definitely get that to her, and then she
Okay,
can
they
just
send
send
an
me the hard
advertise.
drive.
They send an advertisement on you on Instagram all the time for this new thing they got where you can plug it in a hard drive. It'll pull everything out of there for you.
Yeah. And
So I
Pharaoh, when I tell you them beats was fire, like them beats was everything, and I
you,
was just like,
you'll be able to get them out of there. You'll be able to get them out of
yeah,
there. So I'm going to forward that to you when I see it next time on Instagram.
okay.
So so you started playing music at what age?
when I started playing music, that's a loaded question because I wasn't playing necessarily instruments. I was like kind of,
Making beats. Right.
yeah, like I would pull pots and pans underneath the sink and stuff, and I would just be bamming on that. And then we used to have this little treasure chest thing outside. It was like what you call those? It's like a big metal thing, and I would make beats on that. I was doing that when I was like 5.
Mm.
So that's when, and I got video recordings of me doing that. So really it started around age 5, but I was always in church in the choir.
Mm-hmm.
I played drums at church maybe around the age of 7 or 8,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, okay, very talented. So
Yeah.
when did you start growing your dreadlocks?
Now, I started growing my dreadlocks twice. The first time I started, it was like 2014, and I was unemployed at the time. And I started growing them, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not getting no work.
Right.
Like they not calling me back. They not, my resume was good or whatever." Whatever I sent them, everything was good. The interviews was good, but I was like, they're not calling me back. Soon as I cut the mugs off, I started getting calls left and
Okay.
right.
Okay,
And
right.
then after I started working in the the meat packing industry, because they don't care about locks and stuff like that.
Right.
You just stacking boxes, you cutting meat, whatever.
Right.
So once I started growing them out there, then I just
Right.
kept them, and then people, I guess, kind of gravitated to my personality before seeing the locks,
Right.
and and then I kept them then. So this I started growing these sets in March of 2020,
Okay.
like right when the pandemic hit.
Oh, so you got the pandemic locks going.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
so what's the response of your parents when you start doing your hair like that?
Bro, I be telling people this all the time. I've been wanting to grow my hair out since I was little. I
Right.
never, and then my mama would always make this comment like, "Time to go get that wool shade off your head." And
Right.
I was like, why is she saying it like that? Like my hair is just like no. And I was like, when y'all gonna let me grow my hair out? And they was just like, no, like you about to go to the barber shop. But then once I hit 18, you know,
Right.
I was like, okay, it's free game now. I can grow my hair out. And I
Right.
and they still my grandma made this comment to this day. He got them twigs on his head. That's what my grandma's saying today. That's exactly what she's saying.
Oh man, that's funny.
Well, she do like she do like some of the styles that my hairdresser do. But she still keep that same comment like, I don't know why you don't cut all that mess off. She
Hmm.
still say that.
Yeah, they don't know. She'll get used to it. It'll grow on her.
Yeah.
Um, so what's your thoughts on black people getting reparations? Have you been keeping up with that?
Of course, I've been watching you. Of course, I'm keeping up on that.
Okay.
Black people getting reparations, of course, is long overdue. But the thing that I hate that when reparations are brought up for black people, specifically in America. I hate that when it's these other groups that kind of, it's like it causes dissension, and it makes it like you fighting against other black people when really that's not ever what it was. We're trying to get what we're trying to get here.
Right. Right.
Because when I went on Ancestry, I did this in 2008. I went on Ancestry.com, and this was when they had the little 14-day free trial, and you could put your name in, and I saw some documents that were you remember the slaves had to sign their name with an X on it. When I saw that, I ain't gonna cuss on here because I
Right.
ain't trying to get you. But when I saw that, I was like, bro, like seeing that X on that document was it like it was just crazy to me. And I'm like, bro, like my ancestors were slaves. So now fast forward into to today, the thing that I am glad about is that it is more of a conversation now, but it need to be more than a conversation going forward. Like ain't no like we've been talking about this since,
Right. Right.
but I definitely think reparations are coming, but I think we're gonna do a lot of fighting, a lot of infighting with a lot of people.
Think
So
possibly that's been happening a lot. That's been
yeah.
happening a lot. So you're 30 years old. So if you had three things that you would tell young people in your generation, what three things would you tell them? Advice or information? What three things would you tell people in your generation?
Um okay. Number one, okay, financially, don't mess your credit up.
You ain't lying. Real talk.
Don't mess your credit up. Make sure that credit score is A1. Like even if you ain't got no credit, just like if you start off with it, make sure you got a solid job so that if credit card companies do come at you and they want you to get a credit card, use it wisely. Like don't let it just, don't default on your loans and stuff. And that student loan stuff too. The student loans, like know your percentages, your that what is it? What's that percentage they be talking? The interest, it's not the interest, it's something else. But yeah, it is the interest. Know the interest on your loans. Like no, be wise about money because
Hmm.
now it's critical. And the funny thing about that is I keep seeing stuff that's happening about because I can see the signs with the cashless society that you talk about all the time, the cashless society. And I'm like, well, they gonna learn all these skills, but when the cashless society come, they really not gonna like what are they really gonna do?
Hmm.
So that's another thing that's kind of like over my head.
Hmm.
The second thing I will say is listen to your parents. Listen to them. They know what they talking about, bro.
Hmm. Hmm.
They know what they talking about. When the little stuff that you think they teaching it to you when you get annoyed by it, bro. Don't you headed for
Mm.
just and then me being raised by my grandparents, that kind of go,
Right.
it's kind of, you know, they be knowing. They be knowing.
Yeah.
Um and thirdly, I would say definitely eating right. What you all often promote on your channel, eating right. I was vegetarian for when I was in college, I was vegetarian for like 2 years.
That's
And
good.
then I fell off
Right.
because but this was the thing, like um the food now, y'all, that we eating is not the same as the food that our parents ate or our grandparents ate.
That's right.
Like it's you gotta no, we gotta start growing our own food. Don't all this processed food. You don't know what in the world they putting in that stuff. So definitely eat better. Drink more water. Not that don't drink that purified water. Drink some alkaline or some spring water. Don't just be getting no aquafina and all that. Y'all gotta really. It's war out here right now.
That's true.
Y'all gotta really pay attention to this stuff now. Back then they didn't have to pay attention. because they
Right.
was getting organic stuff. But
Right.
now, that's definitely another that's the third thing.
Right. So in your generation, around your friends or people your age, are they a little bit conscious of eating right, or they just out there wild?
It's like half and half. It's like one half one half is conscious, one half eating right, and the other half is like crab legs and jerk chicken, and
Hmm.
they putting it, and they do it, how people that sell plates and stuff, you be kind of wanting to apply them because they kind of making a business out of what they do. But
Right.
it's like, bro, you promoting that, you making it look like a beautiful death. Like you got the camera spinning around on the food and shit. Like,
Right.
no, like,
Right.
but I don't think it's really that conscious.
Right.
Um, as far as on the eating tip, I don't think so.
Right. But you do
But
have some
but
friends that eat right. Because when I was coming up, hardly nobody ate right.
right. But I do see a lot of people that are eating right, but it's like people that I follow, or it's people.
Oh,
It's not.
but not in real
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
So the people you're around, you don't see hardly nobody eating right, huh?
Right, right,
Right.
right. And
Right.
Thanksgiving getting ready to come up, people gearing up to, they talking about low vibrational plates. I know you saw it, Pharaoh, low vibrational plate, but it really is low vibrational.
Yes, it
Like,
is. Yeah. Yeah.
so, you know,
So
I just,
has it been difficult for you to navigate around the violence that's starting to increase? I mean, or
no,
you
I stay out the way. I stay at home. I
okay.
don't I don't be out there like that.
Right.
I go to the store, I go to the gas station, I go to the store, I come home, I work, and that's it. I don't, for me, you know, for me to get caught up in something, people be like, "What?" Like, not
Right.
Tony, you
Right.
know,
Right.
but but definitely violence in my area, specifically Lumberton. We was on the actually we on the FBI watch list for some type of activity, where they a lot of drug activity going on down here.
Wow.
Um, it's a lot of random shootings that been now recently they kind of calmed it down, but earlier last year they was shooting left and right. The people was getting killed left and right last year.
Now,
And
what's going on with the shooting? Do they have any gangs down there? Are there gangs?
yeah, there are
Which gangs
gangs
are
here.
there?
It's typically the Bloods and the Crips down
Oh,
here.
oh, okay,
It's not we don't got BDs and
okay,
GDs over
okay.
here.
But we got Bloods and Crips.
Yeah, it's and it's more folk is kind of like with the Crips, like they kind of alliances.
Right. Folks is
Um,
GDs, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we got folk. Yeah, we got folk here.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So,
Well,
but I'm not really hip on the
right.
gangs.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
I understand. So, what's your thoughts on Takeoff be getting murdered?
It's just senseless. Like, it's just, I mean, and I hate to even say anything because now it's like, dang, how many times are we gonna play this movie? How many times are we gonna wake up and be like, oh, so and so got killed, or what? And the thing that upsetted me the most about Takeoff don't bother nobody. Bro,
Right.
stay out the way. Bro, rap. He mind his business. He not. He not. He ain't never had no beefs with nobody. No high profile beefs. Like, why he got killed? Like, that don't make sense to me. And then I found out that I was a year older than him. I'm like, I thought Takeoff was older than me, and I'm like, bro, like he around my age. Like, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Sad.
And then when they was talking about the circumstances over like a dice game, I'm just like, you know what? I ain't even got no words for it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. 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 So, what's the political climate there where you living at?
Oh, politically, politically, here it's very we're very um conservative here.
Okay.
It's a very conservative area here. Like in the 2020 elections, you will see about 20 Trump Pence signs before you will see one
Yeah.
you will see one
Right. Right. Biden. Right.
Biden Harris
Right.
sign.
Right.
They real conservative around here because this is real, like it's a rural area,
Right.
and
Right.
they
Right.
real, these country folks around here.
Right. Do they have a lot of black politicians down there, or just a couple?
Yeah, well, we have a black mayor in Fairmont, in Lumberton. I don't know who the mayor is in Lumberton. It, they just had a new mayor put down there. I think he black too. That we do have black politicians, but they conservative
They're
too.
conservative. Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
you know.
That makes sense because they're very religious, so they against abortion and all that. That's
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep,
yeah.
yep, yep.
A lot of people don't know that religion got a lot to do with conservative. They're
hmm
not for all them abortions and all of that. They,
Right.
they more go by the book.
Right, but
Very
our definitely our mayor in Fairmont, and I keep saying our because I have lived in Fairmont
right,
before
right.
too,
That's
so I
right.
keep, so he's a conservative. Um, but the political climate. This one thing happened though, where we have a university, we have a college town, and it's called Pembroke, and they held a Black Lives Matter rally, or like a parade. They was having a parade, and this was like outside of, because I used to live in Pembroke too,
Uh-huh.
and they had a Black Lives Matter thing, and they was clashing. It was like basically hillbilly type people.
Right.
They was throwing cans and throwing beer cans and stuff at the students and stuff that was protesting for George Floyd. This one, the George Floyd thing was
Right.
like everywhere. Like it was
Right.
um Fayetteville, they vandalized some stuff in Fayetteville. They was trying to come to our area and disturb stuff. I was like, what in the world going on?
Right.
And that was a real big issue. Just them having to march alone. And I was like, that
So,
was crazy.
is there a lot of obvious racism around there, or is it low key?
It's moderate. It's
Okay.
some of it is obvious and some of it is low key. I would say it's about half and half,
Hmm.
because here, like the people that you will see and you will say like that's a redneck or whatever, they some of the coolest people that I ever
Right.
came across. Because
Right.
I'm born and raised around here, and they,
Right.
we. But some of them are racist,
Right.
but some of them are kind of covert and low key with
Yeah,
it.
because looks are deceiving.
Yeah.
Some people think just because they're white and they're southern, they're racist, but that's not true.
Yeah, no, that ain't true at
No,
all.
that's not
No.
true. No, that's not true. So if all black people in America was listening to you right now, what advice would you have for us?
If all black people in America was listening to me right now, I would tell them to get somewhere and sit down. And listen,
Your
I would tell
grandmother
them.
definitely raised you. Ain't no doubt. That's grandmama all the way, ain't it, man? Boy, oh boy, you took me back. My grandmother would have said that. That's unbelievable.
I would tell them to get somewhere and sit down and figure out, like, get you a monetary plan to where something like, I know everybody ain't business savvy. I'm not business savvy like that. I'm not, uh,
Right.
you know, but I would tell them get somewhere, sit down, save your money. Now was not the time. Just because I listen to you, Pharaoh, where you be like, because you the main one to be saying, oh, don't get in no arguments right now. Don't get in no, bro, that's the truest, it's the truest thing, bro. Like get somewhere, sit down, chill, just be with your family, chill out, save your money, and try to invest in something that's where your money can grow. That's what I would tell black people right now in America.
Right. Now, if black people all over the world was listening to you, what would you tell us all in the Caribbean, all in Africa, England, everywhere? If you could hear all us listen to you, what would you tell us?
Black people all over the world. We are all the same.
Yep.
Don't all that tribalism and all that this country over that country, that shit gotta go. Like that ain't the black people. You see what happened to them black people over there in the Ukraine when they was trying to get on them trains and stuff. They treated them African people like they wasn't nothing. Like black people all over the world and the Africans that and I used to work with this guy. He came from Nigeria, and I would listen to the way that he would speak about black people in America, and he speak about black people in America the same way white racist people speak about black people, and I was like, nigga, like you coming from Nigeria. If Nigeria was so good, why you over here? Like he always bragged about, oh, I'm from Nigeria originally. I'm from Nigeria. But you over here and you talking down on us, and they looking at everybody when a police officer drive by you, they don't see no Nigerian. Like, what is you talking about? But stuff like that, like the whole tribalism thing, the whole bro, they like we all have to recognize that we are basically all the same people. Yeah, we might have different bloodlines and stuff, whatever. But that Ukraine thing should show y'all that they're gonna treat us the same way no matter where we're at on the planet. So
you know what, Ollin? This was a great interview. I'm well impressed. There's hope. You might want to start going live and expressing yourself because I think
yeah,
you got
I used to do YouTube, but
yeah,
I was reviewing music and stuff.
yeah,
And
you
then I stopped. Yeah.
right. But yeah, this was a great interview. You're very intelligent. You're a plus to the community, and I was glad to have you over here, man. You have a good night.
All
And
right,
thanks
man.
a lot, brother. And you stay strong. And anytime you need me, just hit me up, DM me. All right.
All right. And I gotta add a few more kicks to that beat before I send it to you. I was listening
Okay.
to that beat and I was like, no, they need a little bit more kicks in there.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna hit you up.
Remind me. We'll talk about some music. I got something working on that too. Because I
All
got a
right.
singer. Shelly did an interview on here, and she could
Yeah.
sing. So maybe me and
Yeah, I
Shelly.
think that's the girl that I was talking about, the one with the long locks,
Yeah.
and she had the roster cap on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 so maybe we three should
she can
work
sing.
together, try to get her some singing out there and get you some producing out there. What you think?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's dope. I'm
Yeah,
down.
yeah, let's
I'm
do
down
that.
for it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay,
But all
Ollin,
right, Pharaoh. I
stay strong, my
appreciate
brother.
it.
Yes, sir.
You too.
All right. So that's King Ollin. That was great. Really good interview. So these interviews are good. So now we're gonna hook him and Michelle up. She sing, he plays all kind of instruments. Boom! Look what we can do on social media. We can make things happen. We can get together and we can make things happen. We can do positive things. So we can get in and do something. He was very intelligent, very well spoken, and it's really nice to interview uh, a lot of y'all. It's very nice to interview everybody, right? See what everybody got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because that just brings more fullness to the community when you hear what somebody else got to say. Listen to what that brother have to say. It like raises all our intelligence. You know what I mean? It's like it raises, you get something out of it, like more positive input. Many times our young brothers, they always portrayed as negative. You know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of brothers like that. They not out there. They not with all that foolishness out there. And we got to give young black men and young black women, some positive, feedback. We can't, uh, you know, uh, constantly uh, generalize our young people. We can't generalize young people like that. So I'm going to highlight everybody, no matter what age or whatever, and I'm going to mix the interviews with people that got some fame with just your average people. I think the average people like you all don't get a chance to express yourself, And so my interviews I'm expanding my interviews. I got 3 different segments of interviews coming. So get ready for that. That's going to be interesting. So everybody will get to say something, because I got to get Samira over here to talk about her book and her books and her writing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna create some other categories for interviews so I can get people over here, and see what they're talking about and what's going on. You know what I mean? Expand the vibes in the community. So let's take a break, and we'll be right forward with some more talk before we call it an evening. All right? Yeah. So yeah, that was really a good interview. I enjoyed that. Very, very interesting. This weekend is coming up. It's going to be beautiful in Washington, D.C., 77 degrees, 78 degrees. Everything's going perfect for FBA. So if you get a chance, especially if you're over on the East Coast, the Northeast, over in that area, make sure you go check out this Rally for Reparations, okay? Go check that out. It's going to be historical. Make sure you go check that out. It's something you want to be with. Now, if you got children, that's something you want to take your children to see that. You're looking for something to do this weekend, pack the kiddies up and take them up there. Something for they can see to stimulate positivity with your children. Let them go out there and see all them black people out there hanging out like that for something positive. So, that's going down Saturday. So support that in every way possible, Make sure you go check that out. That's a big deal because, reparations is important. It's something that we definitely need. We need our reparations, and it's our money and we need it now. Okay, so that was a great interview. I hope you all enjoy your evening. Stay out of trouble. And this is not for peace, it's for victory.
Peace, health, and longevity. If you want to consume more plant-based foods, if you want to abstain from junk foods, if you want to consume fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and herbs, and avoid dead flesh, artificial flavors and colorings, sweeteners, anything that is unreal basically, purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh El-Aton, who has been a vegan 40 plus years. He will take you step by step on how to abstain from the junk foods, how to abstain from the dead flesh, the chicken, the turkey, the pork, beef, and all sorts of animal products. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan, to eat more natural. Remember that the herbs are for the healing of the nations. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food. Consume of every fruit-bearing and herb-bearing tree. Unto you it shall be for meat. Purchase this particular manual, The Easiest Way to Become a Vegan by Pharaoh El-Aton. Peace, health, and longevity.